Yeah, I got it.
All right, thanks. Can you still see the image or no?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting that I can't see it, but let's get it back. It's crazy. That's interesting. I'm hitting resume share. Let me try new share and see if it works. Okay. Let me put this one up and see if it works similarly. That one might even be a little more readable. I'm not sure, but let's work with, can you see it?
Yep.
So this says, the many beings are numberless. I vow to save them. This is the vow part. Greed, hatred, and ignorance rise endlessly. I vow to abandon them. The Dharma gates are countless. I vow to wake them. And the way I always have said it is awaken them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable. I vow to inhabit it fully. So let me read it again. The many beings are numberless. I vow to save them. Greed, hatred, and ignorance rise endlessly. I vow to abandon them. Dharma gates are countless. I vow to wake them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable. I vow to inhabit it fully. We're going to talk today about the 3 marks of existence. This is one of the key teachings in the Buddhist tradition. And remember, as we said last week, the Buddha gave us a lot of numbers as ways of remembering and then reciting and then repeating the teachings so that we could call them easily to mind. And then by calling them to mind, embody them, right? This is the idea, not just to think about them, but to be them. And I liked the idea of the number series. I'm going to be working on this all throughout the summer, really because we don't often talk about these early teachings, especially as they relate to then our mindfulness practice today, right now. But when we hear about these 3 marks, which is a part of what is in all conditioned things hold these marks. Then we begin to see more clearly the essential truths. What are these? These are the truth of impermanence, the truth that life includes suffering or instability or discomfort or confusion or some form of unpredictability, unreliability, and then we could maybe even say unsustainability. We can't keep it, right? And this was the Buddha's essential key understanding of dukkha. Dukkha. It wasn't just suffering, meaning getting hit by a brick. It was the reality of being alive. And in this reality of being alive, he understood that the human mind was going to seek comfort and it would be unsuccessful in this human endeavor. That no matter how much money, no matter how much beauty, no matter how many brains, no matter how many people loved you, no matter how many cats you had, no matter what your car, right? No matter the circumstance, you would not be able to avoid the essential truth of dukkha. It's dissatisfaction. The real word used is called unsatisfactoriness with the reality that none of it could be secured. Right? Now, that was really what he meant by that first noble truth, is that none of it, no matter how good it is, no matter how good it tastes, no matter how fabulous the sex, no matter how many hugs you get every day, no matter the number of cars in your driveway, that this was going to be a truth for life. And that based on that truth, we could awaken, or we could start to recognize that all that clinging, all that pursuit, all that chasing, securing was really a waste of beautiful opportunity for what? Love, compassion, care, support for both oneself and others, as we would all struggle, right? That we would all struggle. And so then, what? Instead of being against each other, instead of being judgmental, instead of having opinions, instead of taking sides on it's this way or it's that way, we would abandon this for love. I guess would be that simple. We would abandon it for love. We'd go, forget about it. Doesn't matter. It's really this or that, right? I get in these conversations with my husband in the middle of it. Even I think, what am I doing here? Why? What's the, he did say, who cares? Really, what is the point? And I get caught over and over and over, right? And this is my ongoing life work. It is good work. It is good work to recognize it. It is good work to then, what does it say in the second line? To abandon it, right? Greed, hatred, and ignorance. Continual, abandon it. Don't go, don't start, don't think of why. It's a waste. And when I think about that, it wakes me up. When I think about that, what a waste of all the things I could be doing. Really, what a waste. And of not just my time, but his time and all time. Right then you go, what are you doing? Where are you going? And I have to repeat over and over to see it again and again. I am hopeful, however, that as I see it more and more, the truth is I can finally surrender completely. How wonderful would that be? And so these 3 marks of existence are something we're going to practice today. And they are these. Anicca is the Pali word for impermanence. Nothing lasts, nothing stays, nothing is secure. And that your recognition of this every day would be of benefit. Nothing. You don't have to worry about it. You can't keep it anyway. Right? And then we would suffer automatically less, wouldn't we? Because we wouldn't be going, why did this happen? How did this happen to me? How did my knee get like this? Well, it was guaranteed, actually. It was guaranteed that the knee was going to fail, that the knee wouldn't hold up, that, right? It was guaranteed. How am I getting these brown spots on the side of my face? What? You're out of your mind. This was guaranteed. Where did this wrinkle come from and this puffy spot? It's nuts, right? And the truth is it is, and I can laugh about it because the truth is it is nuts. And what? Everything changing every moment. Can we awaken? By what? Then recognizing the preciousness of time, right? Because every moment, click, 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 not this, not this, not gone, 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 right? Gate, gate. Paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gone, gone, gone beyond, gone completely beyond. Awaken. Do you get why that chant is the one the Dalai Lama does every day? Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Hooray! Awaken. Stop hanging on. Stop clinging. Stop thinking it was supposed to be some other way. Don't do this to yourself. Why? The second mark of existence. What is it? It is suffering, dukkha, the insubstantiability, the unreliability, the unpredictability, the natural chaos of life, and our inability to secure it. Our inability, no matter how good you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how athletic you are, no matter how much weight you can lift, right? That we are going to experience this truth. And then it leads us to the third mark of existence, which is to remember that none of this is personal. This isn't anything about you. your success or your failure. This is not about you. This is about the truth of the human condition. And in that recognition, we hope then that you will feel for yourself and others. Because you can't get out of it. I can't get out of it. We together cannot get out of it, but we can support each other in its reality, right? To go, yes, I know too. This is hard. This, right? It is scary. It isn't the way any of us would have wanted it. And it is okay. Right. There we go. And it is okay. Any questions about this? So the easy way, the vernacular, our current modern vernacular, is to say it is not permanent. It is not predictable or perfect. And it is not personal. You get that? Life. These are the marks of life as it is. It is not permanent. It is not personal. No, that's it's not predictable or perfect, and it is not personal, which is the anatta, which means not self, no self, not against you. Life is not here to cause you harm. It is not. We often project, don't we, onto life. Why life doing this to me? Life is not doing that to you. And yes, it is life. You are confronting life. It is true. It comes with all those marks. And if we imagine otherwise, then what? We are in ignorance. And ignorance was understood to be the first cause of suffering. I'm not seeing things as they really are. Ignorance, that's the true nature of dukkha. I'm seeing them as I what? Want them, like them, feel like I deserve. Oh, this is, in our culture, this is very dangerous, and we do it a lot. Deserve it to be. I should have. Really? Where did we get this? Where did that come from? I should have what? I should have gotten into Stanford. I hear this pretty regularly. I should have gotten accepted to UCLA. I'm smart. Why? No. No, you are not entitled by virtue of this human life to get into the school that you liked best. And yet we teach this. And guess what? We are teaching suffering then, aren't we? We are actually cultivating the path to suffering, to go, you should be able to, you should be Wimbledon winner. I was looking at Dennis. You should, right? Because you're you. You are entitled to this in a way that in fact is not a truth, right? And you might work very hard. In fact, you might work harder than anyone and still, right? And yet, there we go. See, if you do it, if you work hard enough, if you're smart enough, if you're blank, right? Don't we? We set everybody up. Then we will be successful, happy. And we actually know this is not the path to happiness. Why? Even if you win Wimbledon, you're not going to win it year after year after year. You can't keep that either. In fact, most of the people I know don't even know who John McEnroe is. They don't even know the guy, right? He came, he went. Jimmy Connors, right? Came and went. Chrissy Everett, who's her? Nobody knows, right? This is, but what? But because I've worked so hard, because I'm me, look at the marks of existence. I should be happy and able to keep it. So these are just some things for us to be thinking about. Enzo, okay, thank you, Carrie, for looking that up. I thought so. I wanted to check that to be sure. We're going to sit silently now. Then we're going to be moving directly into a practice where we're going to inquire into our habit for seeking that permanence, where we're seeking that stability, right? The predictability, that we call that the perfection, and where we're seeking the for me, for mine. So let's get ready to sit. Beings are numberless. I vow to save them all. Afflictions are endless. I vow to heal them. The Dharma is unsurpassable. I vow to attain it. Awakening is possible. I vow to embody it fully. Resting in the transient, transitory, impermanent nature of each breath. We greet it and release it completely. And as we rest at the end of the out breath in that still, vast, open, boundless space, we remember that there is no guarantee for the very next breath. Nothing to expect, nothing to demand, nothing to assume. Each moment, simply a precious gift. And so we arrive completely naked. No expectations, no ideas, so that we can fully inhabit, fully experience, fully embody this one breath. Never to be breathed again. Short or long, smooth or jagged, pain-free or achy, be open completely. The condition of the breath, long or short, does not determine the quality of mind. The quality of the breath itself and the quality of the mind that greets it, both conditioned, both based on patterns and causes, some recognized, some unrecognized. But in all cases, it is not because of you, not some deficiency, not some imperfection. It is simply the truth of this human life. We can awaken to it all. And with it all. There is not some other breath to be breathed. It is this one. And so we cultivate an essential flexibility, an adaptability, openness with each breath as it is. And then with ourselves as we greet the breath as we are, including the wanting and not wanting nature of mind. We do not condemn it. We do not criticize. We do not hate. And we do not wish for something else. We see the wanting, seeking, clinging, rejecting mind. And we begin to feel for ourselves. And then we begin to feel for each other. In the reality of these marks of existence, none of which are escapable. There is the truth of impermanence in this very breath. Noticing how each one comes and goes. Nothing to grab, nothing to cling to. We notice how each breath is unreliable, unpredictable, and cannot be predetermined. and it cannot be kept. The ones we like or the ones we don't like cannot be avoided. And so we rest in the unreliability itself and we smile. Letting what comes come. And then we don't blame ourselves. We don't blame life. We don't blame others. This is not being done to you. This is simply life. And so we stay close and we stay open. And we allow the experience of life to really be lived and breathed and moved right through us. No more struggle. We abide then with calm and compassion, the 10,000 joys and the 10,000 sorrows, breath by breath. Beings are numberless. I vow to save them all. Afflictions are endless. I vow to heal them. The Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to attain them. The Buddha heart and mind available and possible right here, right now. I vow to awaken fully. So that we might all be happy, free from suffering, joyful and grateful at the preciousness of this human life, and abiding with wisdom and compassion until all beings are free and awakened. And may this practice this very morning contribute and may it continue. So be it. Take a stretch and a sip. So any thoughts about the marks of existence? Impermanent, imperfect, impersonal. Can you see how uh, recollecting it, remembering it, calling it to mind can set the mind, can't it? Really, I think, in a uh, pretty perfect way. Uh, Back to, so what was I looking for? What was I expecting? What was I hoping? What was I demanding? And then we can come back to where we do have power and authority, which is the quality of our own heart mind. Rather than looking out there for something to be different or something to be better or something to be the way we wanted or thought it should be. This is the truly most powerless endeavor, isn't it? If only that were better, I would be better. And no, you will be better. And out of your being better, it will be better. That's true. And we forget, don't we? So can you see the benefit of the numbers? You know, it's just nice ways to go. Three what? Oh, the three marks of existence. The three refuge. We talked about that on a Saturday. Another three that we looked at. The 3 points of refuge when you can't, when you're just too worn out, too exhausted, too depleted, too under resourced that you like the marks of existence. I can't get near that. Well, then recollect the three points of refuge. This is the antidote. I didn't tell anybody that before. That's the point of that. Then we can rest in the capacity to awaken. Remembering that, we can remember what? The Dharma truth, that it's always right here, right now, and we can awaken to it, and we can rest in the arms of the Sangha because others, just like us, are practicing and committing and aspiring too. It's not just us. Thank God, not just us, right? And so when we can't lean towards the marks of existence because we're worn out, we can lean into the three refuge. Let me just remember, I can awaken this moment. There is no other. This is the very moment offered to me to awaken in. And I can awaken to whatever the truth is. There's the marks of existence really right there for us. What was I doing? Wanting it to be perfect, personal, wanting it to be permanent? Yes, probably. Yes, probably. These are the cause of afflictions. I was one of those. Wanting it to be my way, wanting it to be the way I thought it should be. This is where lots of trouble and all sufferings begin. Different than an aspiration. Hmm. How is it? Wanting something to be different is different than having an aspiration. How is it different? There is no clinging to the aspiration, Libby says. That's correct. There's no expectation to the aspiration. There is no other moment. There is no result to get in an aspiration. Where is it? Just right here, just right now. There's no other moment for an aspiration to be realized than which one? The one you're in. There's no other. So you don't have to worry about tomorrow with an aspiration. You're just embodying it now. How can I enliven and embody this? Compassion, care, kindness, love, appreciation, gratitude, generosity now. That's an aspiration. There is no other moment. It is not result driven at all. And we hope for what then? Nothing. Nothing. You hope for nothing. You be what is available now. Nothing else to pursue. Right? Can you feel the difference of that? On the one hand, it's hopeful. On the other hand, like, yeah. So then I got to like figure out how to like awaken to that now. Not tomorrow, not when the election comes, not when, right? I keep hearing about this. Right? How bold of everyone to think we're going to make it that far. Right? When the election comes, what? What are you going to do when the election comes? That you're not do right now. Right? It's now. It's not November. It's not. How do we do it now? And we have habits, and we all have them. And this is some of them. Tomorrow, right? Next week, next year, I'll get brave. I'll be more loving. I'll start appreciating others. Right? Whatever our ideas are, some other moment, some other day. No, there is no other. And you are not guaranteed it, right? So, the 3 marks of existence, a profound, important teaching, along with the 3 refuge. Recollect them. I have a whole set of articles. I can send them to you if you're interested in them. Let me know. I have a document with a lot written about the marks of existence, several pages. So before we sign off, we are not committed to the 8:30 time now because we're not in an active study group, but there might be something we want to say about this as we know it. Please send. Good. Well, what else about these marks of existence? Could you feel the truth of them just as we looked at the breath? We do. We even demand things of the breath. We want it to be the way we want it. We want the body to be the way we want it. We want the mind that greets it to be the way we want it. Right? We are endlessly clinging and seeking. It's just good to notice so that we can make a choice about it then. That's the point of the recognition. Not to condemn, not to criticize, not to judge, but to say, do I want to keep doing this since this seems to be suffering? Is there something else I might offer, at least myself, in this moment? Right? Is that a possibility? Dennis writes, the vastness of becoming completely open and vulnerable to it all is right. This is the practice and the path. I light 3 candles this morning. Beautiful. And I will send the article. So I'm going to sit here and drink my tea, see if there are any other thoughts before we sign off. I know you're thinking because I can hear it. So what do you think of? So somebody's thinking, this seems hard. Yes, yeah, I think it does require an effort. It's true. I think you're not wrong about that. I think it takes commitment. I think it takes energy. I think it takes discipline. I think it takes recollection. I think it takes committing oneself to it every day. I I think that is right. Hard is a perspective, though, that it takes energy, effort, and one's resource is true. But the hard part, I think that's a perspective taking. What better thing to do, really? Because I can't think of it. So hard uh, effort um, in the on the path. One of the teachings understands that we have the privilege of the practice, the teachings, and the sangha have already gifted us profoundly, profoundly. That we already have that. Just that is already a profound gift in a life where many may not have any exposure, may not have any clarity, may never have the opportunity to practice, to hear the teachings, or to awaken. And when I say teachings, I don't mean in any way just Buddhist teachings. I mean the Dharma, however you understand that. That not even the idea that there's another way to live or another way to be or another way to cultivate awakened heart mind, that never even occurs in the whole of one's lifetime. And how fortunate then are we? Wow. Right. Robin writes, wanting it to be different keeps you in limbo. Well, it keeps you in suffering. That's for sure. And I suppose that would be a certain type of purgatory, wouldn't it, Robin? It keeps you in suffering. Like, why not? Why me? Why not? Why this? We complain about conditions rather than attend to them, right? It's a habit of all of ours to just complain about it. It's like this, and I don't like that, and I don't want it that way, and I don't want you that way, and why can't you be more like this other way? But really, we're not here for changing others. We're here for a really awakening, and by that, changing whatever changes, right? Healing them, whatever is healed. And I have a lot of confidence in that. I have a lot of evidence for that myself, by the way. How do we determine our right path? By being fully present, Dennis, to the moment you're in, seeing what's possible there. Seeing what's possible just this moment. Where is love available right now? Where is compassion possible right now? Where is forgiveness available right now? Where is generosity possible right now? That's the path. And there is no other, right? It is determined moment by moment. I don't know about the long path. I have no idea. I never imagined sitting here doing this, by the way. Well beyond anything I could have fathomed. Life is bigger than our small imaginings. And so, what's possible now? Where is love possible for you right now? Right? There it is. That's the path. Where is compassion available right now? There it is. There it is. Just right there. Yeah. And the head is not all that helpful in it. I don't think the head's very helpful in it because mostly the head gives us about a 400,000 set of reasons why not. Mostly, doesn't it? Well, it's cold. And it's, Mm, mm. You know, I could go see if there's anybody on the corner over there that I could hand a make egg thing to. Well, nobody will be there. It's too cold. What if they don't like it? They don't like bacon. Now what do I do? Right? We do it all. It's continuous. It's continuous. Most of us, if we're not going off to a set of demands, and the list, I've got a day scheduled, right, that we devote ourselves to. And it's not, the problem is not in the doing, it's in how we're doing it. Then check, got to get to PT, got to get to, right? How do I do that then most kindly, most lovingly, most, right? Now that would make for a day, wouldn't it? That would make for a day. How do I do any of that with complete openness, like you said, Dennis? Siobhan writes, when I'm wishing things to be different, most, yeah, boy, isn't it true, are thinking about it, which is not being here and present. Absolutely correct. It can be an avoidance of actually facing and feeling the pain or discomfort. That's right. Or the fear regarding what I want to be and the way I want to be different. That's right. It keeps us from being different, doesn't it? It freezes us because we froze what? The circumstance. We froze the perspective. We froze the other. We froze the politic. We froze, right? As if that was static and predictable. Also not, right? Because what? It's a confluence. The way you are will be an impact on the way everything else is, even when we forget how powerful and potent one being is. And then we need reminders, I think, of those other beings, don't we? To go, wait a minute, one person fed one person in India and took them off the street, and that became an entire order of nuns that Mother Teresa started, for example. And one person didn't sit in the back of a bus one day and began to help change the world. And we're still working on that. It's also true. And so what's the path? Just this. Can I be open myself? Can I be receptive myself? Can I be loving myself? And then see how it impacts the world, as it will. As it will. Guaranteed. And yes, we do exactly that. If only, and right, the causes and conditions, we blame, the world and others in particular. It's easy to do, I think. Or blame ourselves. This is no improvement. Not any improvement at all. Can I understand my own fear? Yes, someone.
Oh, I blame like the spiritual realm. Like, how could you do this to me? Like I will use the word God, but I'll be like, how could this be?
Yeah.
If that exists, how could this be?
Yeah, that's right. Because we're thinking it should be straightened out by somebody else.
Right.
Yes. Me too.
And if we're only good and on the path.
If we were good enough, this wouldn't be going this way. Yeah. Is it true? It's not even true, because it doesn't mean you're not good. It also means there is the unpredictability, insubstantiability, unholdability, impermanence of it all. No matter how good you are, how are you getting out of that? And how good would you have to be to freeze it all or keep it all? Well, it couldn't be done. It couldn't. And we actually see a kind of suffering, I notice, as people do that. I saw a woman at Rancho Valencia, my friend Adrian and I, we went there after an Easter concert, a Friday, beautiful, at Nativity Church. Oh my gosh. Amazing violinist. And it was just unbelievable. And we were there, and a woman walked in, and she looked like let's say about 100-year-old Charo. You remember Charo, who had that blonde and she would go chi 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 chi. I don't know. She did something like that. I don't remember exactly. But she had must have had $2,000 worth of whatever those things you put in your hair are, right? Long flowing hair, tight white pants. She was about this big, by the way. Right with thong underwear. And she had to be 90 something, I don't know, it was some age, I don't know. And I thought, oh my gosh, the suffering of this. Actually, I felt really sad about it. Like, you don't have to even try that hard to be enough. You already were. And you didn't need an extension or a tighter pant or a, right? And I feel it now, like, oh my gosh, how we have lost our minds, all of us, in thinking that this is the way to happiness or to freedom or to love, right? And we all do it, don't we? We all grip or grab something like this will get me, make me okay, and forget the essential privilege of just being alive. 90 or 9, I don't know. And I do it too, so it isn't, it's can we awaken from it? And really, suffering is, I think, probably one of our greatest awakening gifts. Because when we go, why me? Why is this happening? It's because we were imagining somehow that that wasn't going to be our life, that we weren't going to lose everything, that it wouldn't look like this somehow. Right? That's where the delusion lies. It was never going to last. Whatever it was. Right?
I think this is a quote that you said one time, but I really like it. Don't waste my suffering. Like, don't just
Exactly.
let it be that.
Yes. And then look at the mind that wanted something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel for yourself. You don't have to condemn it. You go, yeah, don't we all? Don't we all want to stay the age we loved and with the person we most loved and the idea of life we most loved? And sure. And there is no exception. There's no exception. Everybody has it, right? I wanted it to go like this and this way. And I thought if I did this, then that'll happen. And then my life would be amazing. And life's no less amazing. Actually, it just isn't going the way you got a storyline that said it will go that way. If you're good, then you'll get permanence. This is one of our myths. If you're smart enough, then you get a house you can keep, or you get a marriage you can hold on to, or you get kids that are healthy, or none of this is accurate. And we buy in, don't we? Lynn says, we want to think we are in control. Yes, exactly. Right? Ha ha, ha ha. Right? And we do it by, I'll be smart enough. I'll be pretty enough. I'll be good enough. I'll sign the right papers. I'll go to the right college. I'll get the right job. I'll be a good mom. Right, whatever the myth is. And then what? I'll get what I want is the myth. It'll go my way is the myth. I will be able to secure happiness. No, you won't. Even when your kids went to the right college and they got the perfect job and you were in the perfect marriage, this is not the way to happiness. Those are things. And they all have the marks of existence. We cannot guarantee any of them, even when we get them. right? We get them. It all goes just that way. And then I get a lot of folks in my office going, why am I so miserable? And they really don't get it because they did go to the right college and they do have the right job and they live in the nicest house looking over the ocean and they can't figure it out because I've got it all. But I'm not happy. I travel everywhere. I'm not happy. I get to do anything I want. I'm not happy. No, you wouldn't be. Doesn't mean it's not about the travel. It's not about the house. It's not about the gate. It's about the quality of your own heart mind. Right? This is why we're all shocked, aren't we? When, who was it recently? I don't know. Some couple, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, right? Oh my God, they really got it going on. Right? And then they divorce. And then you hear the story. He was an alcoholic and she was an anorexic. And right, you're going, how did that happen? They had everything. How does this happen? Right? We know how it happens because that's not the path. It won't give you anything. Fame either doesn't give you anything. Most people who have it are annoyed by it because they can't have a regular meal. Right? So this is part of the breaking of the myth that if you do it right, as Robin's saying, you marry the right guy, you went to the right school, you did the right thing, that then somehow this all works out. And it does all work out, by the way. I'm not saying it doesn't, it absolutely works out. It works out that every moment then becomes an opportunity for what? Love, compassion, kindness, wisdom, generosity. Absolutely. All the more because it was never going to come from out there. All the more we're important. And how we live is important. Yeah. And I love that we have the choice. I love we have the choice for that. And we have the privilege to be able to extend it because we're not just ducking bullets today, most of us. Right? We're also trying to bring something to the world, not just take something from it. And I love that. And thank you for that. Why don't we sit just silently for a few minutes, letting all this digest, remembering how do we know the path? We know it by embodying it fully. And we let the silence inform us. And then we stop asking life for what we want and we ask what we can contribute. And we begin with this stillness, this silence, and this presence. May we offer the benefits and the blessings of this practice today and all practice throughout all time to the end of suffering and the realization of true, abiding, undying happiness and freedom. We offer this to ourselves, to those we love, to those we don't even know, to those in need, covering the earth like a fine mist, touching all beings and all things, until all are healed and all are awakened. So be it. Thank you all for practicing with us this morning. We will be on Thursday with Greg at 7, and we will be in the garden this Saturday, which I guess would be about the 7th or so, somewhere in there, close, at 7:30. So I will look forward to seeing those of you who can join, both Zoom and in person this Saturday as well. So thank you all. And thank you those who came to the all day. We had a wonderful, torrentially rainy, amazing day in the morning, and then a little sprinkles here and there. And in the afternoon, it was a beautiful day. Yes, it was perfect. I agree. Thank you, Lynn. All right, everyone, be well. Take care this day.